Tiramisu is one of the most well-known and appreciated Italian desserts worldwide. Its fame stems from the simple yet perfect combination of ingredients that create a creamy, aromatic, and flavorful dessert. Tiramisu is a dessert made of layers of ladyfingers soaked in coffee and layered with a soft cream made from mascarpone, eggs, and sugar. The surface is traditionally dusted with bitter cocoa, which adds a rich, slightly bitter note that balances the sweetness of the cream. One of the most important characteristics of tiramisu is its balance of textures and flavors. The ladyfingers absorb the coffee, becoming soft while maintaining a delicate structure. The mascarpone cream gives the dessert a velvety and enveloping texture. The cocoa finish completes the dessert with an aromatic contrast that makes every spoonful harmonious. Ingredients to prepare a traditional tiramisu for about 6 or 8 people. You need simple but excellent quality ingredients. 500 grams of mascarpone, 4 fresh eggs, 100 grams of sugar, 300 grams of ladyfingers, 300 milliliters of espresso coffee, bitter cocoa powder, a pinch of salt. Optional. Some variations also include adding a liqueur like marsala or rum to the coffee, but the classic version often doesn't include it. The choice depends on personal taste. Coffee preparation. The first step is to prepare the coffee for dipping the ladyfingers. It's best to use strong, aromatic espresso. Once ready, pour the coffee into a bowl or large container to facilitate dipping the biscuits. The coffee must be allowed to cool completely before using. If the ladyfingers are dipped in hot coffee, they tend to break easily and absorb too much liquid. The result would be an overly soft and lax structure base. Preparing the mascarpone cream. The cream is the heart of tiramisu and requires careful preparation. First, separate the egg yolks from the egg whites. Place the yolks in a large bowl with the sugar. Using a hand whisk or an electric mixer, beat the egg yolks and sugar until the mixture is light, creamy, and slightly fluffy. This step is very important because it allows air to be incorporated and results in a lighter cream. Once the mixture is smooth and fluffy, add the mascarpone. Add the mascarpone a little at a time, stirring gently to avoid lumps. It's best to use a spatula or a whisk on low speed to keep the cream soft and smooth. The result should be a smooth, thick, and velvety cream. Whip the egg whites separately. Beat the egg whites in a clean, dry bowl. Using a mixer, beat until soft and stiff peaks form. If desired, add a pinch of salt to facilitate whipping. The egg whites should be whipped until firm but not too stiff. Once ready, fold them into the mascarpone cream. This step requires special attention. The egg whites must be added little by little and mixed with slow bottom-up movements. This method allows the air to be incorporated into the egg whites and produces a lighter, fluffier cream. Assembling the tiramisu. Once the cream is ready and the coffee has cooled, you can proceed with assembling the dessert. Take a baking dish or rectangular container and begin forming the first layer. Quickly dip the ladyfingers into the cold coffee. Dipping must be done very quickly as the ladyfingers absorb the liquid easily. If they remain in the coffee too long, they risk becoming too soft. The soaked ladyfingers are arranged next to each other on the bottom of the baking dish until the entire surface is covered. Spread a generous layer of mascarpone cream over the first layer of biscuits. Smooth the cream evenly with a spatula. Next, a second layer of coffee-soaked ladyfingers is placed on top of the cream. This layer is also covered with more mascarpone cream. Tiramisu is typically made up of 2 or 3 layers of biscuits and cream, depending on the depth of the container used. The last layer must always be cream. Final decoration. Once the tiramisu is assembled, it's dusted with unsweetened cocoa powder. The cocoa should be evenly distributed using a sieve or small strainer. This step not only decorates the dessert, but also contributes to its balanced flavors. The bitter cocoa contrasts with the sweetness of the cream and adds a slightly intense note that enriches the dessert. Rest in the refrigerator after preparation. The tiramisu must rest in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. This resting time is crucial because it allows the flavors to meld and the cream to firm up. Many prefer to leave tiramisu in the refrigerator overnight. This allows the biscuits to better absorb the cream's moisture, and the dessert achieves an even more harmonious texture. Tiramisu should be served cold.